I was planning on doing a lot of video at work today, but this echo, I can deal with a little bit of echo, but there was a lot of echo in this house, so I'm gonna have to wait till after work. And I now officially have a P.O. box. So if you want to send me something, just send it to P.O. Box 847, Burgaw, North Carolina, 28425. And the address is in the description. Now I gotta finish my errands and then get to the hospital because we're having trouble with my daughter's GJ tube and we need to get that fixed, and there's a whole story behind this. Maybe I'll tell it later. We were planning on hopefully being able to do this pretty much outpatient. It's almost another surgery to just get it switched out. So we are not going to be able to do it tonight. We're gonna have to do it tomorrow morning around 9. So that means that they decided we need to be admitted into the hospital so we could schedule everything. There are two things that every vlogger should have with them at all times. Number one is the camera, and number two is a skateboard. Man, I am exhausted. I think I'm gonna have to pick this up tomorrow. Good morning. So the sun is supposed to rise in like 20 minutes. So I'm gonna look to see if I can find anywhere that I could get some sunrise B-roll. Back on the longboard today. If you like doing tricks and stuff, shortboards are awesome, but when you're traveling around, like looking for somewhere, you gotta have a longboard. Okay, I found a parking garage that I may be able to use. I don't know how high it would actually bring me up. It's not the best place to do a time lapse just because, there's a big building in the way, but I'm gonna try. I don't know. Hopefully I can at least get the sun shining out from around the building. I guess we'll see. And before I head back to the room, I'm gonna go grab some coffee. And if you're wondering why I haven't started talking about the subject of this video, it's because I don't know what it is yet. I have some ideas, but I haven't figured out which one I want to do. Large cafe au lait and a medium sugar-free white chocolate latte. It is going to be a beautiful day today, unless it rains. Then it will still be beautiful, but not quite as pleasant. Okay, I finally figured it out. I'm gonna talk about how to get better bokeh with the kit lens, because there are a lot of people that have asked me what lens are you using? The bokeh looks amazing. And of course I'm using the kit lens. So I wanted to share with you what I do to get better bokeh with this lens, because of course 3.5 at 15 millimeters, you're not gonna get a lot of shallow depth of field. A lot of these tips are very basic, but they're also very important. And these will apply to all lenses that you get, not just the kit lens. That didn't look as slick as I was trying to make it look. Most people who are using the M50 and the kit lens probably are beginners. I know a lot of people who watch this channel are beginners and they're trying to learn how to use their camera well. And this is a big thing. Everyone knows that a shallow depth of field looks really good, especially in this YouTube genre that most of us are in. But as I said, with the kit lens at 15 millimeter and f3.5, you don't get that much shallow depth of field. But one way you can make sure that you're getting the most shallow depth of field that you possibly can is by using an ND filter like what I'm using now. Now, solid ND filters will give you the best color rendering, and variable ND filters, the cheap ones like I'm using now, they do have color shifting. So slapping on a variable ND filter has its own set of downfalls, but it's really, really helpful when trying to get shallow depth of field. Because if I was shooting this scene without a variable ND filter, you have a deep depth of field, and you see behind me is very sharp. You can see the detail and the stuff behind you, you don't have that blurry background, that, as Mattia Poya would say, that sweet, sweet bokeh. But when I have the variable ND filter on, you see that what's behind me is slightly blurred out, which not only looks good because it's shallow, so on and so forth, but it also really helps with the fact that this lens isn't the sharpest lens, and you get a little bit of what I call perceived sharpness, where because the background is blurry, I look sharper than I really am. My next tip is to actually get depth in your shot. This shot looks like it has way more shallow depth of field than this shot. See? Just the fact that I'm so close to something and I don't actually have depth makes my shallow depth of field not look as nice. Just shifting your angle so you have a much longer path behind you will instantly give you more bokeh because it puts your out of focus area much farther behind you. And my last tip is to actually get close to the camera. And this may sound a bit too simplistic and like a few inches wouldn't matter, but if I just back up like 6 inches, you can see that the depth of field is way deeper. You can see the sign looks way more detailed than it did when I was a lot closer. And so getting close to the camera so that you're focused closer will give you a shallower depth of field. And having that extra separation from the background can be really helpful in your videos and really help you achieve looks that you otherwise couldn't get. We are now out of the hospital. I don't have my M50 out, that's why I'm using the GoPro right now, but we're going home. I'm gonna finish this video when we get home because I want to get home as soon as possible. That was not the best explanation I've ever done in a video. I think I'm gonna make a complete video about bokeh, about how to get good bokeh, but also why shallow depth of field looks so good. And so with that, if you found this video helpful, please give me a like, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, hit the notification bell if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next video.